What I'm going to share with you now, for me, is the magic of my work. And I'm really open about sharing things. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because it will take me 2 days. But I'm going to give you a gist. And if you understand this now, and you truly understand this now, I promise you from the bottom of my heart and my soul that you will create an environment of your life that you cannot imagine. And not to say you won't have any problems, because I hope you do, because they're really good for you. They make you grow and become better. So, but if you understand what I'm going to share with you now, you will see the magic of how she, right now, can make this garden of her relationship magical if she chooses. Now, it may take time. It could take a day, a month, a year. She's not leaving him, by the way. That ain't happening. It's very evident. She actually likes him a lot. She actually likes the fact that he's so stubborn. She actually probably likes that deep inside. So she's not leaving him, but if she's going to be with him, she might as well make it really good, right? So, this is what's happening. Now, you can take a seat if you want, because I'm going to...
No, I'm good, Mr. Arfeen. Thank you.
So this is, for me, the magic. How can I get this young lady to create a garden where love grows? Let me give you another metaphor. If I bring a lot of garbage here right now, and I put it on this stage, in a few days, what will happen to that garbage? It'll start decomposing. What will eventually turn up here? Rats, cockroaches, because the environment is perfect for rats and cockroaches.
Yes.
So if I clean that environment up, and I bleach it and I disinfect it, will rats or cockroaches come? Yes. They always come, but they will never stay. They will peek into your life and say, I'm going, because it's too clean. So for example, you heard when people say, oh my God, there's a viral going around. There's a fever going around or flu going around. You've heard that, right? But you can't actually catch a flu. You know that, right? You can't catch it. But if there's a flu going around and the environment inside your body is not strong enough to handle it, the environment is conducive to produce disease, you will produce disease. Logic. So if I create a good environment within my body, I can actually avoid bad illnesses. Make sense? So the same way it is, if I clean this floor up, rats will appear. They are never going to stay. They will never stay. So our objective is to create a garden. So I'm going to show her now how she can go home tonight and her husband will think that she's gone mad. He'll say, who...
That feels that so perfect.
No, but he's going to think she's gone mad in the most incredible way. Not like he thinks you're mad. He'll think, my God, what the hell happened to her? And this can work for you. Now listen very carefully to this, because I'm really fast forwarding and I'm going to come back to this and go back to this. But listen carefully. So, check this out. So if you look at your life right now, and you take it as 6 fuel tanks. Everybody, do this. Just put your tanks on your back. So all day long, you're walking around with these 6 fuel tanks. All day long. You will find any way possible to fill them up. You're going to find a way. But those tanks have to be filled. You will find them through constructive ways, and you will find them through destructive ways. So, knowing full well that I have to fill these tanks up, you can now discover what makes people work. So I'm going to show her why her and her husband are fighting. I know. If I know the cause, I can fix the effect. Simple, right? So if I take her, for example, and I fill up, I have the first tank, which is a tank of certainty. Tank of certainty or security. Security or certainty. My second tank is a tank of excitement or variety. Second tank is of variety. Third tank is a tank of importance or significance. importance, or significance. The fourth tank is of love or connection. The fifth tank is of growth. And the last tank is of contribution. So we have certainty, security, 1. We have variety or excitement, 2. We have significance, importance, 3. We have love and connection, 4. We have growth, and we have contribution. So let's make an assumption that each one of us have this on our back. And we will do anything to fill them up. Anything. So let's take an example. Why does someone join a gang? A gang, you know, like a D gang or some psychotic terrorist organization. Why does someone join these things? I mean, it's insane, right? But what it does for them, it gives them something. If I'm part of the gang, I'm part of her gang, and she's the Don, and she's like, people are scared of her, and I'm part of her gang. Do I feel secure? On a scale of 1 to 10, how secure do I feel? Now, if I got a gun in my hand, and I'm part of a gang, do I feel secure? Hell yeah, don't mess with me. So my tank of certainty is on a 10. If I'm part of a gang, am I going to have excitement? Who am I going to rob? Who am I going to blackmail? Who am I going to extort? My every day is going to be different. It's going to be fun, right? So on a scale of 1 to 10, is my excitement tank full or not? Yeah. If I'm part of a gang, am I an important guy? Don't mess with me. Yesterday I had a little argument with some guy on the road who nearly smashed my car up. So I chased him. He goes to me, "Tum jantu main kaun hu?" I don't know. You should know who I am. I don't know who you are. I don't care who you are. But so important, significance for somebody is really big, especially men, ladies. Listen, men are like dogs. And I'm not kidding you, they're like dogs. If you get a man and you pat him on the head and say, good boy, he will wag his tail forever. And when you throw the stick, all the women are going, yeah! Don't clap too fast, I'm coming to you in a minute. Right, men are like dogs. I stroke him, he wags his tail, I throw my stick, what does the dog do? He runs happily, picks up the stick, comes back and gives it. And then he goes, again. So you say, good boy, here's a biscuit. And then you throw it further, he runs again. And he comes back all day long, he's wagging his tail. And then you say, bad dog. He goes, "Rrr." You hit the dog, "Rrr." Which means, ladies,
Yes, got it.
if you keep telling your man that he's this and he's that, and you're trying to prove that you are stronger and you are better, he is going to bite you. And if he doesn't bite you, he will go and bite some other woman. It's a fact. The number one reason for affairs in the world is what? It's because men are like dogs. And if they don't get their little cuddle and tell them how great they are, and they go to the office and the secretary says, sir, you're looking very handsome. And he thinks, when was the last time my wife said that? Sir, I love the smell of your aftershave. And all of a sudden, he thinks, my God, she loves me. And every day and he starts going there. 3 months later, the woman stops telling the guy how wonderful he is. And what does he do? He goes somewhere else. That's what men do, because men are like dogs. If you treat them well, they will wag their tail. But then sometimes you have very loyal dogs. You can keep hitting them really hard and they don't bite you, but inside they want to kill you. Don't they? Right? They don't bite and they get really angry and they want to launch at you, and in their mind, have you seen The Secret Life of Walter Mitty? It's a really funny movie. You should watch it. It's brilliant. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. So if you could read that, you can imagine her husband, in many occasions, has picked her up and thrown her off the balcony in his head. And she has too. She has, right? She's done worse than that. And some of you have actually picked your husbands up and thrown them off the balcony. But the point I'm trying to say to you is that this man, and I've written it on the sheet below here, I put SSS. His significance tank is really low. Men are really stupid. Because if you tell a man he's good, he believes it. If you tell a man he's an idiot, he believes it. Because we say 2 plus 2 is 4. She's calling me an idiot. I'm an idiot. She says I'm good. I'm good. When do men normally ask how good they are? You know when they ask how good they are. Normally at night when the lights are shut. Because they can't see the expression on the woman's face, they believe you. It's a fact. The point I'm trying to say to you is that for men and women, by the way, this is important for you, but I'll come back to you in a second, trust me. Significance is the most important feature. Now, she said he's a very strong man. Imagine Mike Tyson meeting Mike Tyson. There's going to be a big bust up. So you have this woman here who's also strong, but she's not really. She's all up front. She's candy floss. Trust me. She's a little girl in her heart, and she's some tough Don Corleone externally. So do you see her move back? I've got very good peripheral vision, right? As soon as I said that, she's a little girl, she went back. That's her denial. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. But the fact of the matter is, what she does, she gives, okay, let me ask you a question. Love marriage? Oh, and how did you fall in love?
Fall in love only.
Can you imagine the filter? Her definition of fall in love is not in his arm, it's like in the hole. Who approached who? He approached you. What did you like about him? Go back to that time, that moment.
Yes.
What did you see? What did you hear?
No, I still like about him.
No.
I still love him. Yeah.
No. I'm saying, what did you like about him when you first saw him? What was the first thing that you thought, oh yeah, maybe this man can be the father of my children?
He's a very caring person. And just now, when you mentioned that I'm a little girl in my heart, yes, I am. So he was able to take care of that part of me, as in very caring. And
did he pay you a lot of attention in the beginning?
yes, as in I belong to, we both come from hotel industry, so time was always an issue. So attention as such, we could never spend a lot of time as such, but yes.
Okay, and does he give you the same attention now that he used to?
Yes, he does.
He does?
He does.
So what's your problem? And well, and this very famous thing in India, you know, my husband doesn't give me quality time. What the hell is quality time?
No, he still does give a lot of
Oh,
time.
you have quality time giving husband. That's good, man. So what else? So what's the problem?
Problem is that we have actually, I'm quite a logical person, which he is not. Rather, I would say that the problem is that I am logical. So even if we sit to play something, I'll ask him for a reason ki why this card has to go, and he say, "तू अभी डाल ना, अभी डाल, बाद में मैं बताऊंगा." वो मुझे बाद नहीं समझ में आता है. Tell me कि why this card has to go, and I'll play. Like, if I talk about some energy, if I talk about some logic, he'll be. Ish.
Okay,
And
ladies.
then he backfires the same thing on me when he wants to.
So if I look at her, she doesn't have a logical problem. She's not logical at all. I tell you what her challenge is that her husband's need for significance is really high. He's a significance man. It doesn't mean he shows off and does all that stuff. They're significance idiots. But she's got a significance man. So his need is really, really high. Her need of significance is also very high. She has a 10, he has a 10. He may have a 20 actually. Right? But she has a really high need of significance. She also has a high need of love. But she really has a bit of a confusion between what is significance and what is love. So for a man, if he wants to show you love, he doesn't necessarily hold your hand and tell you how beautiful you are. Because he doesn't. He thinks, I married you, you know you're beautiful, that's the end of it. I mean, come on, why do I have to keep telling you? My wife still tells me you don't love me. And I think to myself, hello, what's the logic in that? I'm here. So the point is, when you walk with a woman and she wants to hold your hand, men wonder why you want to hold our hand. Why? I mean, I'm not running away, I'm not going away, I'm still here. It's actually women who hold their hand to let other women to say, keep away, he's mine. That's the truth, right? That's the absolute truth. So what I'm saying to you is a significance tank, her tank is needed. Are you still working?
Yes, I'm a freelancer, so I've started again.
So when did you start again?
I'll be just 2 months back.
Okay, so before that you were not working?
My daughter is young, so I've taken a break.
Did the number of your fights increase after you stopped working?
Yes.
Okay. Now why is that? Because at work she would get lots of, she'll get significant people would talk to her. I don't know what kind of position she was, but she must have been respected in some way. People would approach her. And now she goes home and her significance tank goes down. And then she has a baby and her significance tank goes up. Now the problem she has, ladies, you do this very often, is that the moment you have a baby, you forget the biggest baby, which is your man. He's like a baby. And the moment she has a baby, she's probably going, no, baby, baby, baby. And the husband's looking, thinking, what about this baby, 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 right? She doesn't do it anymore. So he now probably thinks the only way I'm going to get her attention is to shout at her, scream at her, fight with her. She fights back with me. She still loves me because she fights back. That's how he gets his attention. So he's using a negative vehicle to get a positive emotion. Do you understand that? Example, someone came to one of my seminars, Call of Destiny. And the woman goes, I'm really sick and tired of my husband because he doesn't put the toothpaste lid on the toothpaste. And it got to such a point that they were going to get divorced. They're so pissed off. So I said to the man, why don't you do that? She goes to me, she doesn't pay me attention. The only time she pays me attention is when I don't put the lid on. She comes and fights with me and I feel that she still loves me. Interesting. Check this out. I had a woman who came and told me her husband has been beating her for 20 years of her life. Husband came to the next event. I asked her, why have you been beating her? He goes, at work, people make me feel so weak. Now, when I come home and I beat the hell out of my wife, I feel like a man. And she came to me because she said, I'm really upset because my husband does not beat me anymore. It's really upsetting for me. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, the only time I get to know that he still loves me and I'm important enough that he takes the time to come and beat me up. Sounds crazy, but people will do anything to fulfill her needs. So what does she need to do to make this garden great? Number one, the same attention she's giving her child, she needs to give the bigger baby. Because the bigger baby is really irritating. You know, the little baby listens, the big baby doesn't listen. He throws his tantrums, but he doesn't show them. The big baby needs to be taken care of. And how is a big baby to be taken care of? Do you shout at your daughter? Do you argue the same way you do with your husband, with your daughter? No. No? But with a husband, she'll do that because she gets significance from this. It makes her feel strong. And she's also probably a little peed off with him for some reason. I don't know what that reason is. But she's peed off. So what she does, she gets significance from him. But she still loves him. You do, right? Yes. How insane is that? I'm going to give him a hard time, but I love him. Woman! Let's give him a hard time. Let's bash him up, but I love him. So what I'm saying is, because our rule is that we take responsibility for our life. This is the rule we're working on. So she wants to change her life. Whose responsibility is it?
My own.
Hers. So what does she need to do? She needs to give this man the feeling that he has just arrived and he's God's gift to humanity. If he walks in and she makes him feel like God's gift to humanity, and she makes him feel good. When a man changes a light bulb in the house, he is demonstrating true love to you. And I'm not kidding you. When he goes and does the smallest, most pathetic things that you think are normal things for him, that is what we call love. And if you don't acknowledge them, he becomes like an angry dog. And he will continue to bark all day long, proving to himself that you're right. So what does she need to do? She needs to, number one,